Welcome, everybody, to episode 5 of the Next Generation of Superstars podcast by Burst. And we're very grateful and excited to have Jimmie Stoudemire, who was wide receiver at a couple of schools, but particularly University of Arkansas. He's from Prattville, Alabama. A couple of other notable awards he's had is HBCU All-American. He was ranked 11th at one point as wide receiver in the country, also an academic All-American. And so, Jimmie, welcome and happy to have you here today.
Hey, what's up, man? What's good, bro? Happy to be here.
Absolutely. So, my man, tell us and our audience a little bit more about your football story, how your passion for the game started, and all that on your end.
I would say, like most football players, I've been playing it for a while. Started in 3rd grade, and at the time, like, I was skinny. My whole family, like, they wanted me to play basketball because I was just skinny and tall. But I don't know. I fell in love with football, man, and I continued to play it. I just fell in love with it. We would play in my aunt's yard. My aunt like had a big backyard, and she would have like a bunch of flowers in it. So she worked at Walmart at the time, and she would get off of work, bro. And like as soon as we see her like car driving out, everybody would just run off the field. Like that's where I found my love for it. Is that big backyard right there, because we used to play a lot of football after school there. So yeah, I fell in love with it, man, and got the opportunity to play in the SEC. Went to Auburn out of high school, and that was a big part of my I wouldn't call it a setback, but a big part of my story. Like my motivations when, I lost that opportunity to play at the biggest stage, man. I went to junior college and I was like, man, I just want to get back. Like I wanted to prove. And I also had like a personnel guy tell me like, you won't ever get the opportunity to play this again. So I took that very personal, and I would say it motivated me to keep going. Definitely.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. Was there anyone in particular, like any of your friends or family members or even mentors growing up, that kind of helped, inspire you to keep on pushing to actually make this a career, going into play at the collegiate level?
To be honest with you, I was okay. So I really didn't. I got my recruiting started slow, like 11th grade year. I was always tall, but I was super skinny always, and I was athletic. I was kind of fast. I had a great stride. I actually started running track my 11th grade year as well, so I could work on my form. And I went to state with that 4x1, and I would say a guy who really helped me out a lot as far as high school to even get into college is Rodney. I was skinny in high school, 10th grade year. We won state my 10th grade year. So, I was excited, but I played a little bit in games. Like I played a little bit, but I was young, and our team was like stacked. Like we were a powerhouse at the time, really. And, I was like, man, I want to put my all into this. So I ended up getting a trainer myself, working a little bit, doing small jobs, cutting people's yards. And I was able to pay for me a trainer named Rodney. And, I was doing the high school workouts, which were hard. Like, we worked hard, workouts and practice. Like we were one of those high schools, like they took it seriously. So it was hard. And then, after that, I would go do my extra work with him. I forgot the name of the gym. Was it 24/7 Sports? Dang, I forgot the name. It's been a while. But yeah, I went there, bro, and I would say that changed me. I put on like 15, 20 pounds. I turned into like a big body receiver. Like I was probably like 180. I turned into like 205. Like I already had the height, so I was 205. And of course I was running track, so I was getting faster, and it changed a lot for me. I got that confidence that I could compete. I could beat anybody.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And I can kind of relate to your story. I was always, very skinny growing up until I found a trainer that could actually help me get to that level I wanted to get to. We'll kind of talk to our audience a little bit about what was that regimen that your trainer, his name was Roddy, right?
Yep.
What was your guys's, your routine and your regimen with him, especially like the diet and everything you had to start doing every single day to put on that weight and really gain that extra strength that you were looking for?
I'll tell you this. I think the main thing about that is the diet. I'll be honest with you, because I was already working out hard in in school. Like, you know, I wasn't weak or anything. I just wasn't gaining. And to gain, you literally have to eat a certain amount of carbs. Like he put me on the like carbs, like daily intake and stuff like that, and just eating certain stuff. You still can eat healthy, but you literally have. I was eating like 5 meals a day, and usually, you know, I'll eat like 2 or 3 big meals and think that's it. Like it's way better if you like break it down and schedule yourself when to eat. I mean, it's kind of hard, but you know, I set a goal and I wanted to get there, so I did it. And he had me eating like I know a lot of the things I ate was like fish, rice, like a protein in the rice, like mainly. It was just the amount of times I ate a day, and it counted out like, and then of course the right supplements.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the important part of it is that, you know, you can have all this intake. You just want to make sure you're doing it in the right way.
Yep.
Kind of, you know, shifting a little bit that you've been playing wide receiver your whole life. Is there any particular football player, whether, you know, an NFL or old NFL player or anyone that you've looked up to that you modeled your game after?
Yeah, for sure, man. He's like very old school now, but my favorite player since high school, I would say two, because Julio Jones is from Alabama, so always. And I wasn't in high school yet. I was in like junior high, but he went to Foley High School and we played them. So, and like I said, my school was pretty good. The coach schemed it up, so it wasn't one cornerback just stick him the whole game. You know, you had someone over the top, but I think they held him like 15 yards, and he's like the best receiver ever to come through Alabama. So it's like, I mean, you know, I always looked up to his game and had mad respect for it. Julio's always been a dog. You know, they're coming on like the back end of their careers now. Him and AJ Green, they were my role models coming up for sure. I would say now I try to watch it's a lot of good receivers in the game today, but I would say my top 3 right now that I pay a lot of attention to and just study film a lot on is Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, and Diggs. I like to stay with receivers like more like my size and my frame, because you know, I really can't do everything. Diggs is like what, 5'10", so I really can't do everything like a 5'10" receiver can do. You know, like he's a little bit quicker than me, but you know, Devontae Adams and Jettas is more like my size. So I try to stick with receivers like my body frame, my prototype.
Right. Now, kind of going off, you know, you played in the SEC, you know, you've seen that environment and atmosphere. Talk a little bit about what does that feel like, especially being on the field in a big time game, you know, when you see that the crowd of fans, what is the adrenaline in the environment, like everything that really, how does that affect you, you know, being in your kind of your flow state of mind?
It's nothing like it, man. I'll be honest. I mean, I haven't played. I'm transitioning to professional league now, but like I feel like it's nothing like that college environment, man. Like it's literally insane. Like you know, even in high school, like we would pack out stadium. You know, it's a high school stadium, anyways. But you know, we had a student section, or whatever. It was crazy. It was fun, but like college is like it's insane. Like I feel like it's one of the best experiences I'll ever have for sure. So I'm very happy I got to you know, play on that level and do that for sure. It's
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you know, going off that, what's one of your most memorable games or moments you had, whether it was at Auburn or Arkansas, just in any of those environments? What was something that you look back to and you cherish that moment?
I would say a very memorable moment for me is catching my first touchdown. And we had like literally my freshman year at Auburn. It was like in the spring, like we had like freshman, and we had like 80K people spring game. We were ranked number 6, so preseason. And of course I was a freshman, you know, so but I was having a great spring. I came in, man, and I was having a great spring. And I knew I probably wasn't, because I was probably most likely gonna redshirt. We had just got like the number 1 JUCO recruit, Deco Williams. He's still like, I think he's CFL now, if I'm not mistaken, one of the like top CFL receivers now. We had Carter Lewis, like it was stacked, man. We had like a bunch of receivers. So, you know, I was just really just soaking it in, man. And, you know, I was the man on my high school team. Going from that to SEC, man, it's a big jump, bro. You think like you're the man, you always been the man. And it's just like, yeah, these guys are like legit, like dogs, bro. So yeah, but catching my first touchdown, man, I'll never forget it. Man. I'll never forget that. It was a great feeling for sure.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. That's awesome. And what about, how did you see the different fan support? All the schools you played at. It's been Auburn, University of Arkansas. You've also played at Edward Waters. You've seen different environments. What was that fan support specifically to you? And how did you, engage with those fans that supported you?
I saw fan support from all of them. Of course, when you transfer schools, like you lose a lot of that support. But honestly, I would say some still follow your story and keep up with you. It's very few that'll do that. But I would say for sure, Auburn and Arkansas were more like college towns, and Jacksonville at EW is more like a city. So I feel like with bigger cities, I'm glad I got to experience like actual college city. It's a big difference at the games and stuff like that. But I saw a lot of support from fans, man. I feel like, in the game of football, you got to stay grounded really, because with fans, if you're doing good, they're going to praise you. And when you're doing bad, you're going to hear it from them. So I feel like as a player, like you got to, I like to channel that noise out. Like I don't really get too up or too down whether a fan is praising me or fans are downing me, because I know, it can all change at the next game. So I try to focus on the aspect of just football and getting better as better as I can. Even if I had a good game, I would try to find, we'll get back in the film room and get better. But fans are definitely a huge part of it. Like I love the fans, man. We like making the fans happy. And of course, you're gonna need their support. And like you said, in endeavors like I've gotten to now with the virtual stacks, like that's where they come in, like the people who support you, man. So I think the people who, it's still I literally have fans like from Auburn who, they'll DM me or something like, keeping up with your story. That's it's nothing better than that in the game. Like, or I have a kid, I'll send like some gloves to a kid. Like, he said, I remember you were at Auburn, the receiver. I've been keeping up with your story. That's it's no better feeling than that, man. When I could, because like I said, I was a kid once too. Like dreaming of being. I was looking up to like people like Julio Jones and like AJ Green. Like I feel like you're always gonna. This is a game where you can inspire people. To live out their dreams.
Right.
And it's hard. It's hard. So when people see you succeed, they believe they can do it. So I feel like that's of course I do it for myself, my family, but I also want to be successful for my fans too. So I can inspire them to be the best person they could be.
Yeah, I know, it's very well said. And I think that's so important because you have that great fan support, but you also you have a bigger vision for what you're trying to create. What about, when you have all that noise, and it's that noise you want to channel out, how do you kind of have that in a sense of a Mamba mentality, right? What Kobe had, like, how do you really block that out, especially when you're in, such crucial moments in a game? What fuels you to kind of, what motivates you to really just stay, within your own head and not, not get distracted by everything else around you?
Honestly, I would say it falls back on your training, man. Like when you're like, fans don't see like how hard you practice, stuff like that. And I feel like when you're gonna have tough times in the game, no matter how hard you train, how good you are. It could be whoever. You could be number one team in the country, and you're gonna have down to the wire games. You're gonna drop a ball. It's gonna happen at receiver. And I feel like it goes back to your training. Of course, the crowd's going to be loud the whole game, especially away games. It's going to be even worse because you're going to have people throwing stuff at you, talking trash at you on the sideline. So I would say mainly though, it falls back on your training, man. Like you in your head, man, you just like, you work so hard and you push yourself so hard in training. There's like, I'm about to overcome this. Like, I'm about to overcome this whole situation. Like I've been here, I've been down, I've been tired, I've dropped the ball, and let's go. Like, next snap. Like, I also feel like teammate, like, coaches are a big part of that, keeping that confidence in you and your teammates for sure. I've had both coaches that kick you, it's different types of coaches. Like some coaches like to beat you down and, try to motivate you, and some coaches just build that confidence in you. So whether or not I would usually, before I had that coach like that actually beat me down, I had to realize like, man, I can't listen to what he's saying. Like, I gotta fall back on me, like my training or my teammates, because if you look at it in one person, like if you're looking for it from like, just one thing, I feel like you're not gonna get it. I feel like it's all inside of you, at the end of the day. But it's definitely like people who help, like coaches and teammates, who help you get through it. But all the time sometimes your coaches are gonna, like, I've had coaches literally when you're down, like they're like, come on, man, like what the, and it's I don't agree with that, but you can't really change that. So I feel like teammates are always there for you. So it's been people, it'll be a kicker who missed a game-winning field goal, and then we're like, man, it's good, bro. Like, I know how demoralizing that can be, bro, because you get one, you probably kick 2 field goals the whole game, and this one is for the game. So it's just like, but it was a whole game played. So we always want to keep their heads up, bro, at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, that's great that you have that bond with your teammates that you're able to kind of nourish over time. Switching a little bit, go ahead.
No, I was about to say the bond with the teammates, and it's also like you're not even training by yourself. Like your teammates are with you in practice. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's like a brotherhood. I'm so happy. Like, I feel like sports is just great, man. Like, it's a great, like, it teaches you a lot of adversity and teamwork, like having to work together for a goal.
Yeah. And I think that's what's so great, what we see from our end when we're helping young athletes like yourself within Web3 is that there really is that brotherhood within, even just, maybe you're on different teams with someone and you still keep that relationship. It's just sports really brings people together from all walks of life. And it's awesome to see that in every sport, right? And so that's what's so awesome to see, on a global scale as well. And, kind of seeing what you're learning right now in Web3, working with Burst, and also just having the first opportunity on virtual stacks. What are your initial thoughts and having success, so far in the initial launch? What are your thoughts so far on the Web3 industry and kind of what you've learned, in these past several months?
Like I said, I feel like it's another platform. I'm meeting like, different people from different teams. Like, I actually followed a couple of athletes, I'm keeping up with their story as well. So I'm supporting them, man. And it's just like, it's very interesting, bro. Like, it's not just you in this, it's never just you in this sports world, bro. It's always someone, going through similar stuff, like training just as hard as you always. So I just think it was very unique how I got to connect with other athletes, and of course, monetize my name in the Web3. I think it was awesome. Getting the opportunity. I think the virtual world is definitely like a big thing coming up. So, I'm glad I got to jump in it with that.
Yeah, that's great. And I think just hearing that feedback just gives us, that reassurance of we're on the right vision and we're working to create that path for athletes like yourself and to really build that community that's there to help each other. And that also ties back into, the charity that you were giving back to, the Heart of Sport Foundation, as well as talk a little bit about, your community coming from Alabama, growing up and really having that passion for football. As you continue to excel in your career right now, what does that look like for you in the bigger scheme of things of giving back to your community and really, giving a helping hand back to the community?
Oh man, I any chance I get, like actually this Christmas, my family we do what's it called, the Salvation Army. I'm gonna go back and we're gonna have stuff out on the table for like whether it's clothes, food. I don't know what they're gonna do this year. I haven't talked to them yet, but giving back is a big part of it, man. I feel like I come from humble beginnings, and I feel like people look up to, like, from that community, from where I'm from, like a lot of my friends, I'm out of my friend group, I'm the only one who even went to college. So it's just like, they're looking up to me, man. It kind of keeps me going too and pushes me to keep going, because I know they're not dependent on me, but, just they want me to be successful. They already think I'm successful. I feel like, I still, I wouldn't say got a long way to go, but, I feel like I'm still, getting better every day. it's just like, man, I look back at where I come from, man. I'm very blessed to be in the position I'm in. And yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait to give back. I can't wait. I actually got big plans I want to do with my whole neighborhood. I want to reconstruct it. It was a boys and girls club in my neighbor. Like, we had a park which we would all go to, play basketball and stuff, play football too. We mostly play basketball there and play football in the yard, but they built the Boys and Girls Club there, and it changed my whole, man. Like, it definitely kept, because I wouldn't say I grew up in like the best neighborhood, so that Boys and Girls Club, like, I didn't even like sign up. Like, I stayed in the neighborhood, so I would just go inside, because we walked to the park, it wasn't that far, so I would just go and act like, they would just let me in, and I would play with all the kids and stuff, and it changed everything. It kept me out of trouble. So I don't even know if that's still there or not. I think it closed down. So I would like to, have something like that for sure in the neighborhood to keep the kids out of trouble. And just it's dang, man, it's crazy, man. Dang, it's so crazy.
No, I think it's great what you're doing and the path you're on right now, what you've paved so far. It's congratulations. It's an amazing accomplishment of what you've done. What's your next step in your journey right now as you prepare? I know you have aspirations to make it to the NFL. You've been doing a lot of training recently. What's kind of your next steps and your goals as you enter this new year of 2023?
Yeah, man, I'm actually I just had a workout last week. I'm still working out for teams right now. My goal right now is I'm talking to a couple coaches in the spring leagues in the US, XFL and USFL, and I got a pretty, it's on like I got a pretty, I talked to my agent, a pretty good chance of being in one of those leagues. And I'm also talking to some NFL coaches, which all I need right now, I need to get in one of those leagues and I got to kill it. So and when I do that, the sky's gonna be the limit for me, and that's my goal, man. I've been working all year. I kind of I wouldn't say I put myself in this situation, but last year with the eligibility issues, my last year when I transferred here, having to sit out, that really hurt me. Like, it really hurt me. So they just want to see like me, on the field for a whole season and doing what I could do. So I did everything I was supposed to do. So I killed my pro day, had a great pro day, killed every workout I did. Now it's just, I gotta get in the league. I know one of these coaches is gonna give me an opportunity. It's coming, man. I feel like all this paid off this year. So I'll get to, my goal right now is to play in the spring and see where it goes from there. I won't say, whatever happens, if I have to play 2 years in the spring league, whatever. But I know once I get this opportunity, man, it's gonna be wrapped, bro.
I love it. And I'm rooting for you, and we're here at Burst and everywhere else we're rooting for you. All your fans, all our supporters, everyone is there behind your back. And you have such a bright future ahead, especially in this sport of football and after. What are 3 lessons? Well, this is kind of to wrap everything up on this podcast. What are 3 lessons that you would share, with our audience, especially the youth that looks up to you, that's helped you so much in your journey so far?
Lessons, I would say, first lesson, man, I feel like I wouldn't be able to do this without keeping God first, man. I feel like that's where a lot of my faith has got me this far. So I would say first lesson, keep God first. Second one, set big goals, man. Don't sell yourself short on anything, because I feel like you're able to do anything you want. Like, a lot of people don't think that, or think because after failure, like, they can't accomplish their goals. But I failed a lot of times, man. And I'm literally, I would have never, after not playing a year, I would have never imagined me having this opportunity. I really thought after not playing, it was, it was wraps for me on deals like NIL, workouts, all that stuff. So, but the thing is, I thought that I was down for a minute, not even gonna lie. And then like I said, relationship with God, man, I kept talking. I was like, man, you know what? I'm just gonna keep working, and it honestly, man, it paid off so bad. I can't even, it's crazy how it paid off. But yeah, second lesson, I would say set big goals, man. And third lesson, I would say after you set big goals, be able to adapt to changes. because it's gonna be like, you know, I feel like life is gonna have its ups and downs, and like the same with football, and I apply this to my life now. Like I don't ever get too up or too down. Like I could, if the Broncos call me tomorrow, or I'll say Cowboys, I'm Cowboys. If the Cowboys call me tomorrow, offer me a contract, my mindset, I'm gonna be happy as heck. I'm gonna be happy as heck. But my mindset, you know, I'm like, it's gonna be to work, man. Like to work. You don't ever want to get too high or too up. Like just because I get there don't mean anything, you know. Like my next step is to go in and work as hard as I can and become the best receiver to come through there, you know.
Yeah.
So I would say just being able to adapt, and that would be my third lesson.
I love it. You know, just to rephrase all that, you said keep God first, set big goals, and be able to adapt. I heard something from Tim Grover earlier this year, who, you know, he was a trainer for Michael Jordan, Kobe, and Dwayne Wade, and all that. He said, you know, a lot of people say showing up is half the battle, but for him, showing up is none of the battle. And the reason he says that is because, you know, if we show up to this podcast and then let's say, oh, let's go get a drink or get some food, we didn't execute, we didn't do anything. So it's you know, if you got the Cowboys, you know, calling you up and you went to go play for them, not just showing up, but being there and actually executing what you're supposed to do, and doing that on a consistent basis, that's winning the battle. And winning is everything. And so I think you said it spot on.
That's a great quote, bro. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna add the fourth lesson. You don't have to add this in or not, but my fourth lesson would be surround yourself with good people. I would say when I was going through, when I didn't, you know, the eligibility issues here in Jackson Hole, man, you know, I was down, man. I was really, really down. I had worked hard. You know, I feel like I had set myself up for a great opportunity in a great city, and I was down. And my friends helped me out a lot, and my coaches here, you know, even though I felt like, you know, our relationship kind of, it took a turn because, you know, I didn't know who to blame for it because I did everything I was supposed to do. But surrounding yourself with good people like Kobe's, and it could be your trainer, it could be family, you know, just keeping good vibes around you is gonna keep that pushing you. And like you said, Kobe's trainer, you know, that Kobe, he's probably one of the best, like the athletes he's had is no reason they were so great, you know? Like when they have someone like that, of course they're gonna push themselves, but when you have that extra push from another person, it just keeps you going, man. Hold you accountable.
I love it. Well, Jimmie, we appreciate you being on the podcast. We'll end it on that note of surround yourself with good people. And thank you again. Everybody go follow Jimmie on social media and look out for his story that's continuing.
Jumpman Jim, follow the kid.
We appreciate it, Jimmie. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, man.